What's up, Toy Fam? Welcome back to your Superhero Saturday here on the Totally Cool channel. And as promised from last week's episode, this one will be a little bit more special because we're going back into the Iron Man Infinity Saga MCU armors. We've got two very special armors lined up for you for the next couple of weeks. So, as you know, we've done the Ironmonger recently, just so that we could give it a little bit more villainy flavor. And now we're going back to the Iron Legion fleet. This one, or these two, for the next couple of weeks, came from the Iron Man 3 movie. They were seen in that part of the movie where Iron Man called all of the armors from his arsenal. Because he was wearing Mark 45, if I'm not mistaken. So you kind of wondered. We left off on Mark 7 or Mark 8, Mark 7, I think. And then eventually we skipped. And then we see him developing this armor that's modular and that could be called back with a nanotech or something. So that was where we left off with Iron Man 3. And then came that pivotal scene in the movie, the climax of the movie, where you see all of the armors just flying around this battle scene. And one of them is this guy, the Mark 17. Now, I know we finished with Mark 7. We don't have the Mark 8 to 16 yet. We have Mark 17, also known as the Heartbreaker armor. And the reason for that will be seen when we do a deep dive into the toy. So what will we do for this episode? We will check out the toy, see the articulation, look at all of the trimmings, and give it a rating at the end of the episode and see, is it something you should have? Alright, so let's get into it and let's open the box. Again, ZD Toys have very solid packaging, and it's also protected by this plastic cover that prevents any scratches on the box. I mean, that's what I like about toy collecting. Sometimes you can keep them in the box and they'd still be good, or you can take them out or be able to put them back in. So, this is the Mark 17. Yep. Compared to the other Iron Man ZD toys, where the armor picture is quite small, this one takes a lot of space, a lot of space on the front part. And as you can see, it's got a big repulsor compared to the Mark 7, where it's got the itty-bitty arc reactor. And then on the left, an action pose where it's showing his huge repulsor and arc reactor. All right, flexing. And then you've got Iron Man 3 on the left, on the right. And at the back, as per usual, the action poses, the many things that come with the box. And the many things that come with the box, including the blast effects and the stand and alternate hands. Not much in terms of accessories, but we'll see where that takes us. So it says Infinity Saga, ZD Toys, and you've got Mark 17 over here. Mark 17. Alright, just like the Ironmonger, this is how you open him up. Open the left flap. And just voila. Unlike the first 7 Iron Man figures, where you had to open it like a closet. So let's see where this takes us. Okay, take him out like this. Set this aside. You no longer have the additional flap or the additional piece of cardboard that has the inner workings of the armor, because it doesn't open like the double door refrigerator. But this one comes with 2 clamshells as per usual, 3 extra sets of hands. You've got, okay, this is good because now the stand is it's pre-built. All you have to do is stick it into the base. Does it say Mark 17? No, it doesn't say Mark 17 anymore. It just says Iron Man Mark 3. From a production standpoint, I think it's smart because now you can just put this in all of the other Mark 3 armors and you don't have to have a specific one for each edition. And now you also have the 4 blast effects, 2 for the boots, 2 for the hands. All right, set this aside and let's take a closer look at Iron Man himself, the Mark 17. Why is he Heartbreaker? Let's take him out of the clamshell. Pretty standard. Oh, this one's a little bit more gold. So a lot more gold. It looks heavier, chunkier. Okay. And it looks a little bit more packed. Not compact, packed. Okay. Why is he the Heartbreaker armor? One of the distinct features of this Iron Man armor is the large repulsor in front. Could also be the unibeam in other iterations, but that's why he's the Heartbreaker. He's got a big repulsor in front, okay, and he's got the armor built for heavy artillery. So he's more of like a heavy weapons kind of a armor, and that's pretty much why he's called the Heartbreaker. Now, with a big repulsor like that in the middle of the chest, it would be nice if he could light up, because that's gonna be amazing. And the lights, okay, the eyes are not as big as the others. Okay, they're like slits. And probably the reason for that is because of the advanced AI that Tony Stark uses. He doesn't really have to see through the slits because there's radar and all of the other thingamajig on his heads-up display. But let's do an articulation review first. Okay, as I always like to check out the neck. This one is a little bit tougher to look up. It's not, the articulation on the neck is more limited than the previous iterations. You have the left and the right, but the lookup is very, very limited. Probably because the neck is so thick. Okay. Now the shoulders are also limited, but it's modular. So the shoulder pad or the shoulder armor lifts up to allow for a 90-degree movement. So this one lifts up. When you go down, it covers the shoulder like that. Okay, it can go front and back, and the elbows double jointed as before, and you've got the wrist twist. Very limited wrist twist. It can only go around. Okay, very limited ab crunch because of this big chunk of armor slash repulsor. Okay, very limited, just that forward. There is no waist articulation, and you have very limited hip movement. There's more hip movement going to the back than to the front, and to the side also, because this thing bumps into the hip. Now, okay, knees. Okay, that's an exciting part. The knees, there's a locking mechanism, probably so that he could brace himself when he's firing that big repulsor in front of his chest. So this one locks up or unlocks so that you can move the knees. Double jointed as per usual. And the feet. Okay? Very limited range of motion on these feet. So the back flaps are the special articulations on this specific figure. It doesn't have the flaps for the flight on the backs that you normally have on the back that you normally see on the Iron Man armors. So yeah, very, very standard articulation. A few limitations also. Okay, now out of the box, pretty cool. The paint job is just amazing. Although I could see from where I'm sitting, I could see that there are some areas where they could have done a better job at painting him. You see some paint bleed some from here. I mean, here and out, here and there. There's a few paint bleeds, a few places where the colors intermix or overlap, but nothing too specific unless you put a magnifying glass to it. I just love the many speckles of gray, silver, gold and red intermixed with everything. Like the neck alone, if you look at the neck, it shows the red, it shows the silver, and then you've got the gold on the helmet. It's running down opposite sides of the face until it hits the mask. It's full red, full gold, and then you've got that silver running around the back. I mean, look at this. This is just nice. There's gold here that goes into the face, and then you've got the silver running around. It's like it's really heavily built. This is probably the predecessor of the Hulkbuster, the Mark 44. It's really chunky. It's got a lot of places where you feel like there's armor on armor, like this one. Okay, there's more. There's a lot of places where you think that there's stabilizers for when he's trying to shoot his repulsor, particularly the repulsor in front of his chest. Okay, playability, not much. I mean, aside from the blast effects and aside from the armor, sorry, the alternate hands, there's not much you can do with them. The beauty of the ZD Toys Iron Man Infinity Saga armors is that they're not really meant to be played with. They're meant to be collected. They're meant to be placed on a wall. You have all of the different versions of the Iron Legion. Now, compared to the other red and gold armors, this one is probably second to the Mark 44, the Hulkbuster, in terms of heft and durability. Yeah, you see a lot of these gold trims even on the elbow joints, inner part of the elbows, the back of the knees. Price point. ZD Toys are not your high-end toys. They're mass consumption, mass production kind of a deal, and it's not. I mean, you don't expect too much. Like I said, the additional hands, the blast effects. It's just to accent an already pretty cool figure, pretty solid figure. And again, this one, for its price of about 1,700 pesos, it's not that expensive. If you are an Iron Man collector, I mean, who doesn't want to have a hall of armor where you've got everything all on your wall? And this is a good alternative to the DLX30 or even to the Hot Toys. The Hot Toys are just nuts in terms of price, and I don't see myself getting into that line yet. For a collector that's got things on their shelves with no real room for it, Hot Toys are not a place where I want to go yet. So for the meantime, ZD Toys fits the budget, and it fits the need of having to collect all of these Iron Man armors. Shelf appeal. Again, it's not a standout figure. It's not an amazing, eye-popping kind of figure. But if you really want to have a wall of armor, I mean, you can't miss out on this one. Very distinct look. The color scheme matched whatever was on the movie, regardless of the limited screen time it had. But the blend of the silver, the gray, the gold, it's just a very intricately painted figure, and it's gonna have a distinct place in your on your shelves. So let's do a final review on this guy, Iron Man Mark 17, the Heartbreaker armor from the Iron Legion. Is he not cool? Is he cool? Is he totally cool? Now, limitations, he has quite a lot, but the distinctive look compared to the others that we've reviewed, he has his own place in any collection, whether it's Marvel Legends, Iron Man, just Iron Man, Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'd say he's cool. Could have done more with other accessories or other accents, but what can you expect from a toy that's less than $20? Oh, I'm sorry, less than $40. It's 1,700. Although if you do compare it to the GI Joe, that has the same price point, It's got more accessories, it's got more playability, but then it doesn't have this kind of paint job. So, you pick your poison. Up to you. So with that, we thank you for watching this episode until the very end, and I know you're going to be excited about the next episode where we're gonna go into the golden territory. But for the meantime, hit on like so that YouTube will know you like our content, and hit subscribe so that you would be part of our growing toy family. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you get notified and you won't miss out on any future toy content. Remember, guys, Tuesdays is for Transformers, Thursdays for 80s toys and all of the other characters, and Saturdays for superheroes and supervillains. Sundays is a fun thing to watch for next month. Follow us on Facebook, on TikTok, and don't forget, toys are not just cool. They're totally cool. So happy collecting. Bye-bye.